Our lady at 216-901-0945. He'd love to hear from you. We're going to be getting our guests on in just a minute, but I have a little work to do here in the meantime. We're all working hard, of course. Some of our people, Colleen especially, is gloating over her granddaughter.
Yes.
So I can't blame her for that.
We'll have some live video of Lucy soon. Okay.
Yeah, Lucy has a lot of hair. Honest to God, we got to get her permanent for that shirt as soon as possible.
Yes.
Okay. And our mom Shannon is here. But we are going to be talking about the most important thing of all is the mothers and infants that Brian Powers and Shannon work on every year. And they raise a substantial sum of money for that organization. We're going to talk to them in a minute. Let us get our act together here. We'll be right back after this. For his annual visit is Brian Powers and Shannon Schmidt. Shannon Day Smith. You still use the day in the name Shannon.
No, I don't, but everyone still uses Day.
I bet your Grandma Day is upset about that.
I'll have to ask her about it.
But Grandma Schmidt is happy.
Yeah.
Brian, how are you doing?
Jerry, always great to, I get my invitation only once a year, but I'm here.
Yeah. Well, last year's event was a great success, right?
Yes, it
No,
has
Connie,
been a
before
great
you put
success.
me on camera, is my hair standing up?
Yeah, no, your hair is in better line. It's better shaped up. Okay, good.
Shannon is laughing because she thinks the vanity of that guy. All right, let's get back to Brian. Brian, it's the actual name of the organization is what?
The Metro Health Friends of Mothers and Infants. Terrific organization. Shannon is actually the vice president this year, so let her fill you in a little bit about that.
Okay, Shannon.
Yeah, so Metro Health Friends of Mother and Infants promotes the health and well-being of families by providing essential items for mothers and infants who are clients of the Metro Health Center for Community Health. So we started back in 1972. We still have one original board member from 1972, Molly. And what's been great about this organization is, you have a new group of people who join every decade, it seems like. So 70s, you had some group of people, then the 90s, you get a whole new group of people, and then now myself and the younger generation are joining the board to continue this on, and it's a great organization that provides a lot of great things for people who aren't as lucky to get things on their own.
I assume it's a 501c3.
Yes, it is.
And that means that anybody who donates to it, it's tax deductible, right?
Correct. Yep.
The big event coming up?
Yep. On March 4th.
That was the same date as last year, was it? March 5th last year?
It was actually back in February, so we moved it into March this year.
Okay, all right. I know it was a great success last year.
Yep, it was. Yeah. We're very lucky to have a good group behind us and a lot of people who are donating to a great cause.
And you have an Irish band playing?
Yep, the Kilroys.
Yeah, well, we were trying to get him here this morning, but we asked him a little bit too late. You can't expect people to get up this early on a Sunday morning on short notice.
Right.
You knew about this for a couple of weeks, right, Shannon?
Yeah.
I know Brian is like me. He's probably up at 5 o'clock every morning. I am. Yeah.
Well, Shannon as well. When you're in manufacturing, you got to burn.
That's
Yep,
right.
exactly.
Like you have to drive from Parma
Yeah, to
all the
Painesville.
way to Mentor.
Yeah, Painesville area.
Painesville,
Working
yeah,
at a manufacturing
that's good
plant.
for you though. It wakes you up. The company is very happy to do that, because it wakes up their employees before they get to work. They're not sleeping and drinking coffee when they get to work. They can do that in the car.
Yep.
Okay? All right, let's get back to talking about the mothers and the infants. The fundraiser, very important for a very important part of our society. Let me just backtrack a minute here. Are there a lot of people, a lot of women that have this huge problem whereby this is necessary?
Yeah, there are. And what's great is, these women at the Metro Health, they work closely with social workers, who then we have people on our board who work with those social workers so we can provide the needs that they need, whether it be cribs, clothes, diapers, pajamas, strollers, car seats. So we work with those social workers to help those women and the families out.
Now, does the social welfare system provide any of that stuff in addition to what you were doing?
No.
They don't? I
So
thought they would.
No, if you think about it, Jerry, how how expensive it is to have a child, especially these days, right? There's,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you have to have a car seat. You have to have a crib. You know, the baby should not sleep in bed with you. You need formula, which is very expensive. Diapers are incredibly expensive now. So all the things that it takes when you have a new child, like Shannon and Joe have, beautiful Lucy here. For women who are very often on their own and don't have those resources, don't have family support network, it's really important that the Friends of M&I are able to help them out.
You know, Brian, you mentioned car seats there. You know, a family of 6, how do you take them in a car? I remember when Ellie and I, when our kids were young, we had 6 of them in 8 years, and we had a Volkswagen Bug at the time. And she was driving around with 6 kids in that Volkswagen Bug, no car seats, there was no, didn't even have the things on the back, the headrests.
Right there with you. There were 7 in our family in 9 years. My wife was one of 8. We laugh. We always had. Everybody had a Ford Country Squire station wagon
was a big one.
with fake wood paneling, and the kids all just, you just rolled. When you turn left, we all rolled that way. You turn right, we all rolled that way. You tried to hold on to the younger ones and hope they didn't fall out the window, but we got through it somehow.
Of course, in our case, they couldn't move because with 6 of them packed into the back and the one seat in the front, there was no movement at all. But how in the world do they do it today if you have a big family?
You know, it takes organizations like M&I, and the Friends of M&I have done a great job, as Shannon says, since the 70s, and now you've got Kate McCall is the president, Shannon's the vice president, Grace, my daughter, is on the board, Grace Powers, Ashley Bosco, my niece. So it's great to see this new generation of women who understand what it takes today, because things were different in the 70s, things were different in the 90s, and now it's a very different world to have a child today, and they really understand it better than my generation would.
So what kind of money do they need for this program every year? Is there a budget that they talk about to keep it operational?
It's an all-volunteer organization, so nobody's earning money doing this. It's all volunteer, all through donations. It's not government supported. Metro Health, they're not part of Metro Health. They don't receive funding from Metro Health. They don't receive funding from the government. So it's all what we can raise at events like this. So again, Saturday, March 4, 7 o'clock, the Screw Factory in Lakewood. You can go to Friends of mothersandinfants.org, right? Mm-hmm. Mothersandinfants.org, O-R-G. And I'm sure you'll have that up on your website, Jerry. But that's, buy tickets, come out and support the event. And if you can't attend, go online and make a donation or be a sponsor. Saturday, March 4, we'd love for everybody to come out.
Wonderful. We're going to take a break here. We're going to break away and stick around, right? You're not leaving us yet. And Shannon Schmidt. Notice how I said Schmidt? Because her husband is here, and if I said Day, I know her by day, forever. Shannon, you seem to be in charge of what's going on here, but talk to me more. I get to Brian in a minute.
Yeah.
And he is, I think he is your boss, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, he's always smiling. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Yes.
Anyway, let's talk more about Mothers and Infants. It's a great organization, and you did tell us something that I didn't know, and a lot of people didn't know. I think most people thought that the hospital, Metro, is funding this. They're not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all volunteer, and I think it's important to stress that some more.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people do think that, but like Brian said, it is all volunteer. We have all donations. We're not funded by anything. Another important thing, that we talked about that I want to mention is we're always looking for new board members. We want to grow. We want to open this up to the younger generation and keep it going so it's here for a long, long, long time. So if you're ever interested to join this board, you could reach out to me, Shannon Schmidt, and we could take it from there.
Brian, question for you. You're the CEO of a company called Crawford United. How important is it, you as a CEO, to be engaged in this type of community work? I think it is important, isn't it?
It's very important, and as Shannon knows, she runs an organization called Federal Hose, a manufacturing company that's been around for 100 years. There are 10 different companies in Crawford United, and every single one of them is involved in their community wherever that may be. So we've got companies in Massachusetts, in Arizona, in Puerto Rico, all across Ohio, and each company picks their own local charity to be involved with. Here at Crawford United, at the headquarters operation in Cleveland, we work with M&I. Not necessarily monetary support, but we help with events like this. We volunteer. We think it's very important to support the local community, and there's a big need in Cleveland for babies being born into poverty. No matter what your politics are, it's not a child's fault if they're born into a family with no money,
That's right.
and they need our support.
Probably people don't believe it, that there's poverty in America. I suppose compared to other parts of the world, it isn't poverty in a sense, but it still is the people that do not have the bare necessities of life.
Absolutely, and as we said, it's expensive to have a baby, and there's not a lot of support for the types of expenses that you hit when you have a child, and especially, a lot of the moms having babies at Metro Health in particular, just need some help, need a boost. Those children need to be safe, they need to be warm, they need to be fed, and it's our responsibility as a community to be supportive of them.
How many people in the home now? Do you know? Or is there a home?
No.
There's not. There's
No.
not an actual physical
No.
takes care of them at their home.
Yes, so there's Metro Health has community health centers that Shannon can speak to all around Cleveland. So it's not just the Metro Health main campus. There's community health centers, and they work with social workers, and they'll inform those social workers to let their mothers know that they can work with Friends of M&I and mothersandinfants.org.
Yep, and some of those locations that we serve are in Bedford, Broadway, Brooklyn, Buckeye, Cleveland Heights, Ohio City, Parma, West Park, and Merrick House in Tremont.
Nice.
Jerry, yeah, I just wanted to say, I mean, Shannon, my stepdaughter here and her sister, Samantha, we were able to have beautiful baby showers for them, right? Because of her mother and her mother-in-law and our grandparents and all of that. When you don't have, and my favorite expression, I remember when I worked with a nonprofit, when people say pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, if you don't have a pair of boots, you can't pull them up.
That's for sure.
So to actually help and support these women who are having babies in life is wonderful. And so we're so grateful that mothers and infants are here for this, and this St. Patrick's Day event is a fun event to come out and to support it. And they do some other things as well, but it's a great organization to get involved with if you can help someone else along the way.
Okay. Great. We're going to talk about the event itself when you come back. All right. That organization, the chairman of the board is Ambassador Ed Crawford. Right, Brian?
Yes, so we are everything we do every day is in the tradition and ethics of the Crawford family. Ambassador Crawford, his son Matthew, they're a great family. We do everything we do, how we do business is all based on what Ambassador Crawford and his family founded years ago.
And I like the fact that he started the Crawford Business School. It's going to be started at Kent State University. He donated the money for that. And that's a great asset to Northern Ohio that Ambassador Crawford did that. He's a great ambassador. We'd love to have him on the program here. He's great. He's a great radio guy.
He is always fun. And yeah, when you talk about community involvement, Ambassador Crawford made the largest donation in the history of Kent State University. So it'll be the Ambassador Crawford College of Business and Entrepreneurship, a brand new building called the Crawford Hall. So it's he sets a great example for us.
It's a dormitory as well, is that right?
The most important thing of all that he has done,
Business building.
he's going
building.
to be the sponsor of our remote broadcast from the Westside Irish American Club on
March 12th.
the 12th. We're going to have a live
Yes.
show, and I'm trying now,
At the
Brian,
Goat.
you might be able to influence them to come out first. I know it's a bit of a drive for them, but the 12th of March, we're going to be remotely broadcasting at the Westside Irish American Club this program, and Ambassador Crawford is the sponsor of that, the main sponsor. When we go, we have our regular sponsors that sponsor this program every Sunday, but when we go away from the studio, that costs money. The stations, they don't give too much away, So Mr. Crawford jumped up and said, I'll take care of it for you. So yeah, thank you. Anyway, it is 10:52 here on the Irish Show on WHK, AM 14.
It's at mothersandinfants.org. It's $45, but it's we have terrific food.
Closer to the
Closer to the
microphone.
microphone.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So there's great food. There's Guinness on tap and other drinks. There's a wonderful band. The Kilroys are playing. Terrific Irish music. So it's a great event, well worth the price. But you can buy tickets at the door or go online and buy them. We prefer that, but there's certainly tickets available at the door.
Okay, that's wonderful. 10:53 here on the Irish Show on WHK, AM 1420. Let's go over here to, let's see, the 22nd.
Perfect.
It's a long time since I had one of those around the house.
Yeah.
You know, on my
Look at
own.
how perfect
Yeah.
she is. Look at her little cheeks. I know.
all the
I've
hair
seen
she's
it.
got.
I know, she's got crazy
How
hair.
old is she?
She's 8 months.
8 months. What are you going to be like when you're 18?
I
We don't know.
She's going to be a beauty, huh? Yes, you are. You could be a Rosa Tralee.
She looks pretty
Lucy
thin.
Jones.
Yeah.
Lucy Jones.
Lucy Jones.
Joanne.
Joanne.
Lucy Joanne. Bailey.
Bailey
Jones.
is Joan. Yeah, good, sorry.
After my
Sorry,
grandma.
Lucy. Yeah, after
All
Grandma
that
Day.
hair,
She's
honestly.
after Grandma Day, Joanne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you love the hair? Yes. Hi. Yes, I like your velvet leisure suit.
It's all about comfort. She's going for a run later.
All right.
Hi, Lucy.
I have to go to...
Oh my goodness.
Are we on next or should we wait up there still?
Yeah, are they coming on next? What do you think? We should talk about it, yeah?
See the
Come and get what they're
Performing
next.
Arts Center, let's see
Yes.
here.
Is that a teasing
The opening
thing?
Yeah.
starts Wednesday the 22nd, and it runs through the 26th.
Wait, it's in your way. She's gonna break the equipment.
It's okay.
Alright, turn this way.
Hey, good.
Lucy!
Lucy, look at.
Lucy! Lucy!
Lucy,
Look how curious she is.
Look at Mommy.
Lucy!
Lucy, look at Mommy.
She's like, I wanna touch the microphone. Lucy! Hi, Lucy! Look at me! Hi, Shannon. Hi. Beautiful.
Okay, beautiful. We got some.
Yep.
Oh,